So we are doing an interview today. I am talking with this guy that made Marooners, and I think he can introduce himself.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Mike Hergaarder from M2H, and together with four other developers, we've made Marooners at M2H. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's start with question one. How long does your studio exist?
It's a bit hard to answer. Officially since 2009, so that's 7 years. But of course, this all started from a hobby, and the beginning is hard to point out, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's what most studios, I think.
Yeah.
Most started out as a hobby, and then it became their jobs.
Mhm.
Um, what were your sukas and inspiration for making Marooners?
We participated in the Global Game Jam in Amsterdam 2014, I believe. No, 2015 actually. And we made it a crazy, hectic game called Paradox in Paradise back then. And with the game, we actually won the jury and audience awards for the entire Netherlands that year. So a few months later, in summer 2015, we gathered with the same team and we decided to make a full commercial title out of the Paradox in Paradise game jam prototype. And that has become Marooners a year later.
Okay. Yeah, Marooners isn't your first game, but what other kind of games have you made before?
Yeah, we have a real broad range of games at Entrades. Our biggest game now is Verdun, the multiplayer shooter. It's really realistic, yeah, the first of its type of one game actually, and multiplayer FPS game. And besides that, we have also made Crash Dive, a racing game for Steam and mobile, and a lot of smaller mini web games or either mobile games as well.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah.
For what platforms do you develop?
We started on web a lot and we moved to mobile in 2009. And since Verdun, we're mostly focusing on Steam nowadays. So that's now for 2 or 3 years, we're mostly focusing on Steam. But Verdun is also, just a week before Marooners, we launched Verdun on PlayStation. And it's also coming on Xbox One very soon. So we're now also moving from Steam to console again. So we keep picking the best platforms for the type of games we're making.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. So like expanding your game.
Yeah, for sure. And only where it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So what type of education have you done?
I've studied a Bachelor in Information Sciences in Amsterdam and also did a multimedia master.
That's a lot. With how many people are you working on Marooners?
The team is from M2H, it's me, and then I had friends at the Global Game Jam team as well. Those also finished the game. There are 2 artists and 2 programmers, but of course everyone on our team is not just an artist or programmer. We're also doing business, marketing, and whatever. So the Marooners team is 5 people, and we've had 2 freelancers actually for sound and music, and someone helped on the GUI. We had one person helping on a character now and then, and I hope I'm not forgetting someone. I must be forgetting someone as well. So, but the main team was 5 people.
Okay. Do you use something like Unreal or Unity, or do you fully script Marooners yourself?
Yeah, we're using a Unity engine. We use Unity for all our games actually. So as for tooling, we're scripting in C# in Unity, and our artists have been using Maya, I believe. Yeah, of course, Photoshop and all the major tools.
Okay, well, Unity is used a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, since 3 years now, I guess.
I don't know how long, but
Yeah.
almost all the indie game I touch are Unity.
Yeah, and nowadays Unreal is trying to catch up, and I'm curious if they are able to in the next few years.
That would be fun to see something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge in producing Marooners?
Yeah, we've learned a hard lesson there. Like Marooners has about 10 to 60 minigames. It depends on how you count them. And actually every minigame is like almost like making a completely new game, at least the gameplay side of it. If we change how the character jumps, or if we can or cannot wall jump, it really messes up any of the other games right away. So just making a small change in one minigame can really mess up any of the other minigames. So the testing is hard. And also because in Marooners, of course, you play 5 minigames at the same time by pausing and resuming. That really, it really makes the game development a lot more harder than just creating a single Razor game or any other game actually.
Yeah, like in Marooners, you finally get to know how one minigame works and then you go to the next one.
Yeah, so even on the creation and the coding side, it's like that, yeah. It's not just confusing for the players.
Okay. Did you get any help from the industry to develop and promote Marooners?
On the development side, of course, we hired a few freelancers here and there, so that's a big help, of course. And promotion-wise, yeah, we did contact the Dutch game industry, for example. We told them we're out and if they could support by retweeting. And of course, you yourself have helped a lot with the Thunderclap.
Yeah, I did a lot on Thunderclap. Yeah.
you helped us make the finish line. You did the last 20 or so people,
Yeah.
30 maybe.
I can do 36,
Nice.
but you only needed like 20 from me.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's mostly actually, of course, the streamers. Even the smaller streamers help a lot. It still is a week after launch now today, and it's still really spreading like wildfire. It's still really going viral on YouTube, etc.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm really curious where
Yeah.
we're at in a week or in a month. I have no idea how the game is going to do in the future.
Well, last time I played it was last week. There were a lot more players than in the early access.
Yeah, it's still and it's still growing. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now there's actually pretty people to play with.
yeah, for sure.
How do you like each platform? Thinking of Steam, console, maybe mobile?
Yeah, I like them all, but of course it depends on the game as a player, but also as a developer. I do like the most about Steam that we can update within minutes. I can literally start a build here, and for Marooners that takes about 5 minutes, and I have it live in the 6th minute, since it takes less than a minute to deploy on Steam. So I really
That's
love that.
fast.
Yeah, I really love that for testing and development. So yeah, as a developer, definitely Steam.
Okay. And for other stuff, it's like consoles. It's more accessible or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you reach a different audience. Like we just recently launched Verdun on console, and it's been a big success as well. And I think that's because people really love this new type of FPS game, which was never on console. And yeah, it's a really different game on console. Same would count for Marooners. Marooners would make a lot of sense on console. But for development, Steam is and was still easiest, of course, to start with.
Yeah, Marooners would be really fun on Xbox One. I agree with that.
Yeah, we're definitely checking out if we can do it on console. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't have Verdun, so I've never played it.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't have it, so I don't play it. Have you noticed the decline for making money for indies in this industry?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's a decline. I think there are just more and more indies, so it's also getting more and more. Yeah, it's getting harder to achieve success. But I think it's just mostly to blame to the amount of influx of new indies and new competitors, and yeah, that will set the bar higher for everyone, of course.
Yeah, there are coming out like 20 indie games every day, if it isn't more. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we had a big success with Verdun, and I hoped, of course, that would help Marooners a lot. But it's hard to cross-promote since it's just different games. So I was really afraid of whether Marooners would be a success. But so far, the first week, it has been doing very well. So we're lucky this time. But I was really afraid we would suffer the same fate as many other indies indeed.
Well, then you're lucky, I guess.
Yeah, and then again, luck, you can force luck by creating a lot of opportunities, so we keep doing that, and I hope that's making the difference.
Yeah, that would be nice. What type of games do you play in your free time?
I play a broad range of games. It can be Minecraft or Rainbow Six Siege or Terraria, or I do like open world games.
Okay.
But I don't play games very long, since I think I have this developer problem where after a few hours you see and you get in a game, even though you can still unlock like 10 different weapons or characters, the game will remain the same, and I want to be amazed or to be curious about any new stuff. And so in 1 or 2 hours I just understand the game and it bores me usually.
Oh, that's really fast.
Yeah, it depends on the game, of course. Games like Terraria or maybe multiplayer games like Rainbow Siege, where it's all about skill, or those remain entertaining.
Okay. Well, how and when did you decide to become a developer?
Yeah, that's almost the same question as how long our studio exists. I mean, it's hard to answer since I never decided to do it, but I just started doing it at high school, and I created my first smaller games. And now we're here. I mean, it's been a long and a wild ride, and I can't pinpoint the beginning or so. I just kept going and making a little bigger games, and then added the Unity engine for 3D instead of web-based games. But it started in 2006, so that's 10 years ago now.
Well, that's also a long time.
Yeah.
That makes you also very young. How and when did you learn to code and design? Was that at school or was that at home?
I printed some coding manuals and started to learn those at high school, just during lessons and of course after as well. And what helped me the most was just starting doing it right away. So the first thing I did after an hour of lessons, I just made a login and registration tool for a simple game, for a web game in this case. And I could immediately envision the game as soon as I had the login working. I mean, that's all you need for a game, right?
I think so.
For a web game at least. So yeah, it was mostly self-practice. Later on I did attend the information science bachelor and the multimedia master, but I already made games before actually.
Okay. Well, like a lot of developers, they learn coding at home and they have a study like, hey, how did you come to make a game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I asked that.
Same for me, yeah.
That was also the last question, so if you want to tell anything else, now is your chance.
Well, of course, do check out Marooners on Steam. It's the last day of sale. I'm not sure if the video will be live in time, but otherwise you can catch it on the sale soon.
I think I can have it online within an hour from
nice.
now.
Then viewers can still grab it on sale. Yeah, and of course, feel free to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever.
Well, if you send me the links, I can do it.
Sure.
I can put it in the description. Yeah. So they can just find it very easily.
Right, will do.
Yeah. So, okay, that was the end of the interview for today.
Alright, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.